If you want to buy cheap, reliable NBA 2K19 MT, please go to dvdj.com, use the code CRUSH, and if you're not familiar with the process, you can contact them on Twitter. Both links will be in the description. What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're back doing some more off-season predictions, and today we're going to be doing the Atlanta Hawks. So, very excited to do the Atlanta Hawks. I think they are a team, and very up-and-coming team. Trae Young, really looking forward to his sophomore year. He did finish off strong his rookie year. And if they can only add talent next to this guy with 2 first-round picks coming up this year, I think the sky's the limit for Atlanta. They might be able to sneak in. Okay, I don't know if I should get a little bit of, maybe I'm getting a little bit too ahead of myself, but depending on who they draft, do you guys think they could potentially make the playoffs next year? They are in the East. If they're in the West, I would say there's no chance, but the fact that they are in the East, it's a possibility, but you know, you've really got to think about a lot of things for that to happen. But no, I don't want that. So no standard rules. I don't know. So I'm not gonna worry about that. But for the draft lottery, this is the most important part of the Atlanta Hawks offseason. They have they have Dallas's pick. They have their own pick, and do we have Cleveland's pick too, or is that not true? So let's see what that's all about. We have the 4th. All right, Cleveland has their pick, so I think it might have been some protections on it, so that probably was never going to happen. But we have the 5th pick and the 7th pick, which are 2 good, solid lottery picks. Chicago jumped up to number 1, and then the Suns have the number 2 draft pick, and then the Knicks dropped down to number 4, which that would be the worst nightmare for New York Knicks fans. But staff signing Lloyd Pierce, I really don't expect him to be fired. I think he'll be fine. So based off my prediction, he'll be fine. But when we get into the actual draft process, like I said, you have a lot of these draft picks, which I think the new GM of the Atlanta Hawks, I don't know his name, but he's the one that constructed the Golden State Warriors in a way. So I think he's going to keep trying to build through the draft. He was able to do it in Golden State. I don't see why he would change it now. And I'm just going to expect him to just keep doing his draft thing. So we're going to jump right into it and jump into the number 5 pick overall. And let's see what we can get at number 5 and see who's been taken so far. So we got Zion taken by the Bulls. We have the Suns getting Ja. We have Cavaliers getting Culver, and we have the Knicks getting RJ Barrett. I think I was going to get RJ Barrett if he was still available, but that's fine. So now we look at what we got left. We have Cameron Reddish, Ramiro Langford, and a lot of small forwards left. So small forward is a decent spot. I do draft Cameron Reddish a lot, so I think I might go DeAndre Hunter here just because I do get Cameron Reddish quite a bit in these videos. So although based off of prediction, I think DeAndre Hunter, Cameron Reddish, you take your choice. I don't know which one would probably be better because you guys don't watch a lot of college. We got the ceiling Latrell Sprewell and floor Nick Young. For DeAndre Hunter, we got Shandon Anderson and floor Monty Williams. So hit the threes with some consistency. What about Cam Reddish? Has future NBA superstar written all over him. Weaknesses, I'm just kind of interested to see. Not the most reliable defender on the low post, makes mistakes. Often out of position to pull down boards. He should be grabbing. Keen sense of knowing what to do to get big stops. So Cameron Reddish or DeAndre Hunter, I don't know. Maybe we might be able to get both of them. But just because I get Cameron Reddish a lot, take your pick with either one. Out of Virginia, I'm just going to take DeAndre Hunter. Now we have the 7th pick overall. And we're going to look at what's now they took. Did they take Cameron Reddish? They did not. They took Keldon Johnson. So the fact that DeAndre Hunter and Cameron Reddish were both on the board, I mean, I think I might take Cameron Reddish here. 5th pick and the 7th pick overall, and you take your choice from there. And then you sim to the end, and that should be good. Actually, I guess I could have drafted a couple of second-rounders here and there. But, you know, they got Nazrion Reed in the 2nd round. I'm cool with that. And that's probably Jonte Porter. So not too bad, actually. There's another one. I don't know where it would maybe there wasn't. So not too shabby. They took Robert Franks, but I'm gonna sign both these guys because why not? That should be good. So looking pretty good. We have John Collins, Taurean Prince coming back. We have DeAndre Bembry. I'll go ahead and accept him because I feel like the Hawks might accept him. He had some bright spots here and there. Deontay Davis, Isaac Humphries, Kent Blazemore, of course, is going to accept his contract. Qualifying offers, Justin Anderson. I really don't think the Hawks are going to worry about bringing him back at all, if anything. But we have $13.19 million in cap space. And then when we got all these free agents, we got Dedmon, Justin Anderson, Poyethress, Jalen Adams, and Dedmon. So I can see the Hawks bring back Dedmon, but I'm not going to make it on the top of my priority list as I'm going to look what we got. So Now that we drafted 2 small forwards in this draft, we have 6'7" DeAndre Hunter and 6'7" or 6'9" Cameron Reddish. If I moved DeAndre Hunter, shooting guard, he goes down to a 77 overall. Two-way guard, I'm going to do that. So he's going to play some shooting guard for us. Kevin Herter, I think, still, he had a pretty decent rookie season, so I definitely still want to see him get some minutes here and there. Cam Bazemore, obviously, I would love to see him kind of fall out of the rotation. If the Hawks could trade him this offseason, great. If not, no big deal. Taurean Prince, I actually think the Hawks might trade him this offseason, and I might actually do that in this video. Alex Len and Jonte Porter, so you still have quite a bit of centers, actually, on the roster. A lot of them, actually. So Alex Len and Jonte Porter are still here. But Taurean Prince, like I said, is a huge trade candidate for me just because there's quite a bit of wings they could draft at their spots in the draft. And they were trying to shop Taurean Prince at the trade deadline. So I'm going to look for trade partners for Taurean Prince. I think any team would make sense, honestly. As long as we get a decent package, I'm cool with it. So the 76ers give us James Ennis and Jonah Bolden. That doesn't really give the Hawks anything. That doesn't really help them by any means. Valentine, you got Tristan Thompson, Yabusele and Robert Williams, Rodney McGruder, and a first-round pick from the Clippers. Kyle Anderson and Javon Carter. Exum, can't stay healthy. Dante Exum. Frank Ntilikina, Mitchell Robinson. I don't see the Knicks letting go Mitchell Robinson, so probably not going to do that. DJ Augustine, who balled out in Game 1, but definitely fell down to earth in Game 2. Dwight Powell. We got Musa, Juan Selena Gomez, Aaron Holiday, Dougie McBuckets, Luke Kennard from the Pistons. He's starting to catch it on fire here, so probably won't do that. Steven Adams from the Thunder. That doesn't make a lot of sense either. So, I mean, any team would make sense for any, a team like Portland makes a lot of sense because that small forward spot is lacking, and Prince is a good shooter. So I'm going to actually do this trade. So we got Taurean Prince going to Portland potentially, which does make sense in a lot of ways. Is it actually going to happen? My prediction is just that Taurean Prince might be traded this offseason. So I don't know about for Anthony Simons, though. I think this would have to be a little bit cheaper of a package just because Prince is on a one-year deal, although he did have a good first season. So maybe they could get a first-round pick out of him, but I'm not going to try to get a first-round pick for him. What could we want? Maybe no, probably none of those guys. If we could get just maybe a top 10 protected first-round pick or something from Portland, I don't know. Would that be fair? Maybe not. We got to throw someone in here, though. Galabissiere, top 10 protected pick. They get second round pick. Would this be fair, or do you think Taurean Prince for first round pick is not worth it? We don't want to take on the extra salary. What do you mean you don't want to take on the extra salary? He's 1 year deal. Okay. How about instead of a first round pick, you just give me a second? We'll forget the first round pick. Okay, I agree. So, I mean, they get a second. I think the Hawks could potentially get a first rounder for Taurean Prince just because he is a decent wing player. So, but we are able to get rid of him out of our books. $31.10 million. Don't really expect the Hawks to be big factors in free agency, to be honest. Atlanta is not a huge free agency destination, but they definitely could give their 2 cents out there. Nikola Vucevic, I think, is a player they could have their hands in. Marcus Cousins, maybe. Marcus Cousins may not have a ton of options, but if he's going to compete for a championship, Atlanta doesn't make a lot of sense for him. Julius Randle, I could even see making a little bit of sense. 24 years old, kind of fits the timeline of the team a little bit. DeAndre Jordan, probably not. Enes Kanter, Dwight Howard, Willie Cauley-Stein, I could see the Hawks maybe being interested in. But I could also see the Hawks playing John Collins at the center spot, and then I would be cool with that. So if we could play John Collins at the center spot, and then Alex Len come off the bench for him, and then all these centers really don't matter. I know there's a ton of them on the roster, but none of these guys are going to get minutes down here. So we basically have John Collins and Alex Len. Got Labissiere, we got all that trade, and now we have enough small forwards where we're comfortable with what we got. And then DeAndre Hunter and Kent Bazemore running that shooting guard spot along with Kevin Herter. I think if we could get a power forward who could stretch the floor for this team, I think it would be great. So I don't know who that player could be. Paul Millsap maybe returning with Atlanta? Nah, probably not. Rudy Gay. You got Mirotic, 28 years old, 29-year-old Marcus Morris Sr. Jabari Parker even. Just a team that doesn't have a whole lot to lose by signing this guy. I honestly could see that making sense. I know Jabari Parker may not have a ton of options, but the fact that he's still 24 years old and Washington may not be interested in re-signing him, I think Parker could make some sense here for Atlanta. Now, the money would have to be right, of course. And I would probably be comfortable with giving him like a 2-year, $11 million deal or something like that. He's not bad by any means, but I mean, Atlanta could be interested in a guy like that. Not a whole lot to lose, and he's still young. So, and it's not like he's been absolutely atrocious on the floor. His defense does suck, and he wasn't being played out of some rotations, but he didn't have a bad stint with the Wizards, I thought. So maybe that could make some sense. 24-year-old Jabari Parker, maybe coming off the bench for them. And then as far as someone that could actually stretch the floor for him a bit, I don't know if that is out there. Maybe we could just go for Julius Randle. Like I said, Julius Randle and John Collins down low would be actually kind of dangerous down there, to be honest. That would actually be pretty nice. Julius Randle is making a lot of sense to me too. If the Hawks could get their hands on a guy like Julius Randle and play him at the center, I know he's 6'9", but I don't know, John Collins and Julius Randle down there could, I don't know if they'd play well together because they do have similar play styles, but I don't know, man. I think those two would be pretty nice, maybe, if it would fit, but they do have similar play styles, so I got to think about that. Maybe they would even throw their money at Tobias Harris. I could see that. But I don't know. Tobias Harris, now that he's in the playoffs, might want to keep, competing for a playoff spot. Mirotic out there, Thaddeus Young. Well, if we can get Jabari Parker, I think that does make some sense in a way. I don't know if we want him starting by any means, but I think it's something that does make sense. It's not too out of line. And we'll just get some players that, line up with the team. We could get like Vonleh for 1 year, or Trey Lyles, and even take your chances with him. Be easily Markieff Morris out here as well. Christian Wood, not a bad stretch 4, but I'm gonna go with Jabari here, and I'm gonna be comfortable with that. I don't think it's too bad of a contract to be given out. Got $19.72 million in cap space still. Julius Randle, I do want to sign him here, but I just don't know. John Collins is, how tall is John Collins? He's 6'10", so he's a lot taller than Julius Randle, I guess. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I do question the fit, and he's already gone, so it really doesn't matter. But I do question the fit there, but maybe it could work. Tobias Harris does make a lot of sense in a way. He's 27, but if they could convince him to sign here, it'd be great for him. But I don't know if they could. We got Willie Cauley-Stein, maybe a guy that they could look forward at, 25 years old. Maybe would fit that nice center spot, Brook Lopez, but had Alex Len playing for him last year. So I'm going to go with Willie Cauley-Stein. I'll be comfortable signing him like for a 2-year deal. I see Atlanta potentially being interested in Willie Cauley-Stein. I don't know about signing him long term or anything, but he's not a bad center to potentially pick up for you. So we'll just do that, move John Collins back to the power forward, and then we'll have Jabari Parker playing off the bench like he's been doing. So let's move John Collins back to his power forward spot. Jabari Parker and John. It's really not a bad rotation by any means. You could also sign a backup point guard real quick. Probably someone that could fit in right away. Beverly, Elfrid Payton, TJ McConnell, DeLon Wright. I mean, any of these guys in it honestly would fit decently behind Trae Young. So I could give Trae Young or Austin Rivers a deal and feel comfortable with it, or someone like Elfrid Payton even maybe too. So let's just see one of those guys. Austin Rivers, I'll take him. So I think that's okay. That's fine. We don't need to sign Elfrid Payton. So I think that'll be good for as far as what I expect out of Atlanta. I could see them being a little aggressive just because Trae Young did have a good rookie year. But I could also see them staying the course, just drafting and being patient. So we'll have to see how Atlanta wants to handle their offseason. But I don't know, guys. Jabari Parker, it may be a move that there's no way in hell that happens. But, it's just one of those things where Atlanta may not have a whole lot to lose. And, bringing him off the bench potentially to compete for a playoff spot in the East, if Atlanta is looking forward to doing something like that, especially when you could draft DeAndre Hunter and Cameron Reddish, I don't think it's too out of the realm of possibility. I don't know. I could be wrong, though. Let me know what you guys think. So I'm going to go ahead and give some untapped potential at Mr. Kevin Huerter because I want him up there. I want this guy starting to get some minutes and stuff. But other than that, when we look at the rotation, I'm going to run a 9-man rotation. Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Cameron Reddish, John Collins, Willie Cauley-Stein, Jabari Parker, Kim Bazemore, Austin Rivers, and Kevin Huerter. So I guess that's all right. And really no one else. I mean, I could plug in Amari Spellman instead, bring in Jonte Porter instead. But I think I'll just leave it. We'll just have Kim Bazemore playing some minutes off the bench. Honestly, I think he might even go up at small forward. I could probably do that as well. He probably will. He's 6. Maybe he doesn't. Never mind. I'll just leave him the shooting guard. So he'll be fine there. And I think this is a nice rotation. As long as everything fits, I'm just going to leave the scoring preferences down. I just want to see who's going to score the ball. As far as system proficiency, we have active system. He likes a balanced system. Grit and grind doesn't fit too well. We got 7 seconds. Defense, balance. I'm gonna go with the 7 seconds one just because it does give us a little bit more of a fire 3.5 star kind of rating. So I'm assuming like this first year I've been talking a lot, so let's see what happens. At the end of the season, we have Steph Curry winning MVP, Zion Williamson winning Rookie of the Year on Chicago. Sixth Man of the Year goes to Jabari Parker, 16 points off the bench. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what we could see next year. I don't know. If Lou Will's still playing in the league, I don't know about that. But Defensive Player of the Year goes to Anthony Davis. Marvin Bagley wins Most Improved, and Coach of the Year goes to Steve Kerr. All NBA first team. We probably won't have any of our players on here, I wouldn't think. Maybe Zion makes it all defensive first team, and that's about it. All rookie first team, we have Cameron Reddish making it. DeAndre Hunter makes the all rookie second team at least. So not too shabby, but we did make the playoffs, 41 and 41, and we're not going to be playing Zion in the first round. So maybe we have a chance of advancing. I'm not sure, but when we look at the season stats, here they are. Trae Young with about 21 points and 6 assists, so not too shabby. Jabari Parker, 16 points, the second leading scorer, and 7 off the bench. So Jabari Parker really played a good role off the bench. John Collins, I expect John Collins to obviously be a lot better than that. DeAndre Hunter did his thing. DeAndre Hunter and Cameron Reddish both averaged 12. Willie Cauley-Stein almost had a double-double. That's what I wanted from him, and that's fine. Kim Bazemore had 10 off the bench as well. So not too shabby at all. Not too bad at all. As far as these guys, what were their percentages from 3? 42% from DeAndre Hunter and 36% from Cameron Reddish. So would like to see those presented, or that percentage better from Cameron Reddish at least. But, you know, it's not too bad. Not too bad of a season at all. We're facing Cleveland in the first round. Let's see what the Cleveland Cavaliers are looking like. Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, Colin Sexton. They did draft Jarrett Culver, which I think a lot of people's mock drafts have the Hawks potentially getting him. So let's simulate this current round. They're up 1-0 to start. They do have home court advantage here, but we do even it up. I think this is a pretty even matchup, so I could see us beating Cleveland here. And, okay, we were up 3-1 at one point, and we beat them in 6 games and facing Milwaukee in the second round. So could Atlanta make it to the second round next year? That's probably pushing it, I would say. But, you know, could they compete for a playoff spot next year? Maybe, just maybe, but it would really have to take a big jump from John Collins and Cameron Reddish, or I don't even know if they're going to draft Cameron Reddish, but like whoever they draft is going to have to make an immediate impact, and Trae Young's going to have to play similarly the same as he did down the stretch. Just give Atlanta some time. I think this team will be pretty deadly in the future, but as far as it is right now, I don't know about a second round appearance, but Atlanta might be able to push it into the playoffs, but that might be pushing it. So we got the Raptors winning the championship here. Anyways, guys, that's going to be my prediction for the Atlanta Hawks. I'm not sure what team we're doing next, but it's going to be a team in the Western Conference. Whoever the 11th seed of the Western Conference was, I think is next. I don't know who it was at the top of my head, like I said. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. This is Crushables, and I'm saying peace.